The teaching tonight, if you want to delve deeper, where the stage we're going to tonight, if you want to delve deeper into that stage, I would encourage you to get the book called The Kybalion. That's a book called The Kybalion that deals with the hermetic principles, the laws of nature, because I'm going to be teaching from that tonight. So I would encourage that you get that book, Kybalion. Can we write that in the comment section, The Kybalion? Kyba. I am very sure that a lot of people here have it. This is a book that is highly recommended in the field of esotericism, The Kybalion. How many people here have read this book, The Kybalion? Let me see, type in the comment section if you have read this book. Good evening, Madam Grace. If you have read this book, fantastic. Mary O has read it. You know, everything we have been talking about universal laws, the laws of nature, fantastic, Anita. This is a book to actually read, The Kybalion. What I'm teaching tonight is about this extensively. I'm going to talk about it extensively. The other book that I recommended was The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier. That's another author, another book that you actually need to get. Because in the next 6 months, there must be some intentionality in the kind of material that you expose yourself to. There must be intentionality in the kind of material you expose yourself to. Just say you go this night, you know, go wait, make you listen to it with the talk. Before they buy phone, I talk say you don't buy that kind of phone. Just wait and listen a bit. The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier. Now, the Kybalion has different versions. Any of the versions you get, they are all dealing with the same 7 principles, 7 hermetic principles. But The Secret of the Ages, the author is Robert Collier. One of the books that completely changed my life is this book by Robert Collier. It completely changed my life, The Secret of the Ages. So if you can get this book, it is important. Now, there's another book titled The Prophet. You need to read this book. Now, Robert Collier is a Christian scientist, one of these New Age Christian scientific approach to spirituality. The Prophet deals with some Sufism philosophy added to mainstream Islam and even Christianity, Buddhism. But this is the kind of book that you also need to read, The Prophet. A lot of the great people that you see, they tell you they have read The Prophet. I sent these books to the group, so I'm very sure that can you check the group 080? Can you scroll up? You will see these titles of this book that I wrote in the 080. So you can probably copy it and repost it. Copy it and repost it now. You can see these 3 books. There's another book by a Sufi author that I sent to the group. The reason I am emphasizing these books is because beginning from now and the next 6 months, you should expose yourself to materials like this. Expose yourself to materials like another book is The Prayer of the Cosmos. This is a fantastic book to get. The Prayer of the Cosmos. This book is by, the author's name is strange, so I may not be able to remember. I'm going to send it to the group. Neil something. The Prayer of the Cosmos. This is a book that deals with the meditation and prayers of Jesus in its original language, in Aramaic, its original language. And you're going to be able to read the Lord's Prayer in its original language. And you understand why I talked about the Father, Mother, God, and the Son. Because the historical Jesus was someone that was given to the idea of femininity, was given to it. When you read the uncanonized texts like the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Philip, all these uncanonized texts, you understand that the historical Jesus was related with divinity from the feminine and the masculine perspective, because the most ancient spirituality systems approached the divine spark, divinity, from the perspective of the Father and the Sacred Mother, which will always produce the Son. And the Son there is not necessarily gender specific. It's just that it is a masculine energy. But like I said, just because something has masculine energy doesn't mean it doesn't have a bit of feminine energy. That's how important these books are. So kindly ensure that you get these books. Ensure that you get them. It's really going to help. Now, I want to quickly say something. This is not meant to be part of this manifestation marathon. A bit of it with you before we move to the main lecture for today. Before we move to the main lecture for today. There is a lot of people have said this to me. I have elderly people who are in the Mason. I met someone who is a Sufi. And then when you study the Bible, you understand that what I'm about to say is a universal concept from the most ancient spirituality systems and texts, is resident and present in the most ancient texts. And I made a video about it today. I posted it, called The Seven Absolute Spirits. The Seven Absolute Spirits. It's called The Seven Absolute Spirits. Now, in the Hindu religion, although Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. In the Hindu system, spirituality system, when they talk about the absolute spirit, they are referring to Brahma. I've said this, that almost every culture pronounce the name of God in the vowel sound. In the vowel sound. Yahweh, Allah, Brahma, Krishna. There is always that vowel denominator in the sound. Almost every spirituality system in every culture. So the Hindu religion explains the concept of the seven absolute spirits in a very dynamic, explanatory, beautiful way. I'm going to read that to you. So when they say the seven absolute spirits, now one of the questions, I was very young when I was introduced to this concept. And one of the people that introduced this to me, when I asked him, how is it not spirits? And it is seven. If it is seven, it should be spirits, not spirits. It should be plural sound, not singular. And he said, because the spirit here is one source. Now, the law of one, talking about the law of one. So the spirit is the source that expresses itself in different dimensions. And that's why you have the concept of the Trinity in Hinduism. Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in the world. You have the concept of the Trinity in the ancient Egyptian Kemetic spirituality system. You have the concept of the Trinity in the Greek mythology and spirituality. You have the concept of the Trinity in the Judeo-Christian concept of spirituality. And then the common denominator is that it is still one source expressing itself in different dimensions, right? So it is the seven absolute spirits, not spirits. So the focus is on the spirit, not on the spirit, although it expresses itself in different dimensions. I saw a video recently where a lady, I think she was replying to the video I made about sexual energy. And then she said, there is no man that she sleeps with, that every information she needs to get about the man, she will get it by sleeping with the man, right? Every information that she needs to get from the man, by sleeping with the man, she's going to get it. And I was tempted to reply the video, but I held back a bit, because the truth of the matter is, well, I don't know who she is. I don't know the kind of power that she has. I don't know how far she has gone to have that level of confidence. But the truth is that there are men out there who understand the concept of seven absolute spirits, meaning you function from that dimension. Matter of fact, the seven absolute spirits was initially 5. It used to be 5 absolute spirits. But because of the progressiveness of revelation, the other 2 were included, the other 2 spirits, which are 2 dimensions of the source, were introduced. And there are people in this world who they live their life based on these 5 or 7 absolute spirits, which are the portals and the gates to their essence, right? They are the gates and the portals to your essence. The spirit of knowledge, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of the fear of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord. Those are the seven. The spirit of the Lord in that sense is the spirit of the law, because the Lord, the etymology of the Lord is law. The law of, whenever you see the Lord, is referring to the law of the mind. So there is nobody who would live their life understanding that everything they become or do, their essence is produced from these different places. When you have knowledge, you have understanding, you have wisdom, you have counsel, you have might, you have the spirit of the law. And it means, and those areas of your life are incorruptible. You don't allow anything to corrupt them. There is no way you would not live an excellent life. And this lady said she can have access to anyone, but there are a lot of men who sleep with women without giving you access to those portals and those gates. They sleep with you if they don't have any ulterior motive. They sleep with you for pleasure. Now, I have asked people this question many times, and maybe you are one of those, one of us. Last time I was dating. Yes, I can help you get all the books. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. I was dating a white garment, a lady that attends a white garment church, and I kept saying, take me to the best of the prophets that you have, because I knew what I was doing. And she took me to several of them. Not saying they didn't see anything. Not your father, they didn't see. Now, please understand, there are people who hold the key to their gates and their portals, because the gates to your portals are the seven absolute spirits. The seven, let me see if I can list them. Number one is the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of wisdom. We've talked about this Trivium universal learning system. The spirit of understanding. In Revelation, it talks about it. But the text that existed before the canonized Bible also emphasized this. The spirit of wisdom, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of the fear of the Lord. Now, this wasn't part of this absolute spirit initially, but let's accommodate it because of the progressiveness of Revelation. The spirit of might, the spirit of might, and then you have the spirit of the Lord. So you wonder why you have the spirit of the Lord, right? Because the Lord is a title. The Lord is not God, is a title. So whenever you see anything Lord, it is referring to the law, which is the law of the mind, which is the law of the mind. So there are people who live their lives with all these things in control, because these are the, if you can take care of these gates in your life, nobody can mess with you. Nobody can mess with you if you have all these things in control. The gate to your knowledge, the gate to your understanding, the gate to your wisdom, the gate to your counsel, where you can receive counsel from within, the gate to the fear of the law, which is reverence. Reverence for universal principles, reverence for the law of nature, the spirit of might, which is the strength, capacity, and ability to carry out what the knowledge that you understand. Now, the spirit of might is directly linked to the spirit of wisdom. So initially it was referred to as the spirit of wisdom and might, because wisdom is the action. Wisdom is the action. Why is this breaking? The Zoom is breaking. Is it okay there? It's breaking. But my audio is okay. The audio is okay. Okay. It will reset itself. The audio is perfect, right? All right, good. So let's continue from there. So there are people who protect the gate to all these areas of their life. There are people who protect these gates. So the lady who felt that anybody she sleeps with, she can have access to them. There are people who have blocked all this access. There are people who, some of you might have this experience where, yeah, it's fine now. This experience where you go to prophets and they don't see anything for you. It's because consciously or unconsciously, you have refused to give anybody access to all these gates. You may not, also use the gate yourself. You are probably not even using that key, But the fact is that somehow you have refused. There are people who are spiritually stubborn. There are people who are like that, where even when they're in a gathering where everybody is falling down, they will stand like, try me. There are people who are very daring. And although they may not be conscious of it, they dare everything and everybody. So you go to a prophet, they don't see anything. They see some people, I know your father's name, they don't see anything. It's because somehow very few people, or you are the only one with access to all these areas of your life. And for us to lead an authentic life, we must understand that these 7 absolute spirits must, which are gates and portals, they must be protected and guarded. Now, the 7 absolute spirits is also the divine consciousness. Now, the divine consciousness is eternal and unchanging. And the divine consciousness, when you want to describe the divine consciousness, it manifests itself in these different dimensions. You have knowledge, you understand what you know. Now we are emphasizing what we're saying. You have wisdom. I didn't want to, this is not part of the class. I was preparing this for the Abuja event. So I'm just giving you that gist, because this is really, really going to help. You have the spirit of counsel, where before people tell you you are wrong, you already know you are wrong. You're already working on, I need to make this shift in my, I need to correct this part. It is because you have the spirit of counsel, the spirit of the reverence for the laws of nature, the spirit of might, where every idea you have the capacity and the strength to carry them out. You have it. And then the spirit of the Lord, the law of mind. You can use your mind. You have mental agility. Now, in the Hindu spirituality system, the 7 absolute spirit, which is called Brahman, which is the supreme being, in the Hindu spirituality system. Brahman. Can you see that? Now, there is this Britannica article that says that Hindu holy books refer to Brahman as being present throughout the entire universe. And Hindus believe that all living beings, now listen, for you to know that all religions are saying the same thing. So the needless fights is what I don't understand. Now listen to what the Hindu spirituality system believe about the 7 absolute spirits, because these spirits are in you as a microcosmic universe. And it says Brahman is present throughout the entire universe, and that all living beings carry a part of Brahman within them. In him we live, in him we move, in him we have our being. I am closer to you than your jugular vein. So we're all saying the same thing. It is the expression that are distinct and unique and different. And it goes further and says, the divine spark, because in Hinduism, the belief is that there is a multiversatile grand spark that created everything, and that every human being, you carry a spark of that universal spark. This divine spark is known as the Atman, or soul. You see, the spark of the Creator is in you, in your soul, and it is immortal. Now we said your soul is indestructible. Your soul pre-existed your body, right? Eternity in the Ecclesiastes says eternity is in your heart. So it says the 7 absolute spirits is what is awake even while you are sleeping. You see that now? It is awake even while you are sleeping. So it means that your gate of knowledge is wide awake while you are sleeping. Your gate of understanding is wide awake while you are sleeping. Sometimes people call me, I miss the call. Okay, there is a young man that called me, I missed the call, Abraham. And I said I was going to call him back. And overnight, I dreamt that I saw him in his office. Just this overnight. And when I woke up in the morning, when I was taking my walk, I called him. And when I called him, I said, I dreamt that I saw myself in your office. And he said, yes, we wanted to invite you to come and speak to our staff about the psychology of marketing. Because even though I was sleeping, but my spirit of wisdom, understanding, knowledge, counsel, they were awake. So it is that spirit that is awake even while you are asleep. Your soul, the indestructible, infinitely intelligent soul, the one absolute spirit. One of the quickest, easiest ways to manifest effortlessly is to activate, to make sure that your absolute spirit is activated and is at work, so that even when you are asleep, and this is why the soul and voice recognition exercise is very, very important. Please start this exercise today, tomorrow. Can please. This is your absolute spirit that is at work. It is the expression of the source. That's why it's very important. When you have all these things in place, manifesting becomes very easy because you know what to do. One of the challenges that many of us are faced with is that we don't know what to do. If you know what to do and when to do it, timing, knowing what to do and the right time to do it, knowing who to call and the right time to call them, that can be the transformational phase of anybody's life. Like you just pick up a phone and you call someone and a major result comes out of that. Now we're going to proceed. The natural laws of the universe. We're going to look at the 7 natural laws of the universe. Now you see the importance of 7. The 7, this is why people who have a life path 7, they are the master in going down different rabbit holes. They want to go down all the rabbit holes because it's a very highly spiritual number. Most of the important aspects of spirituality, they are in the number 7. 7 candlelight, candlesticks, 7 days, 6 days creation, 7 days rest. On the 7th day, God's rest, according to the Bible. 7, the number 7 is very significant in spirituality. So you have the 7 natural laws of the universe. When you get this book, the Kybalion, I'm saying that so that it can be a follow-up to what I am talking about tonight. Although in the books they broke it down a bit, but then we're going to take it to the next level extensively tonight. Now, this is a study by the 3 teachers, that's what they call them, which is Hermeticism, the Kybalion. Now, natural laws govern the universe. We talked about that yesterday. Natural laws govern the universe. When you master the principles, the laws of the universe, you begin to naturally elevate yourself. You begin to elevate yourself from where you are, and you begin to watch yourself, because now you are not just living by sentiment and emotions and opinion. You are living by laws, a system that functions based on languages and codes. It can never fail. When your laptop is configured to restart, when you press restart, it's configured to restart when you press restart. It is configured to shut down when you click shut down, because it is built on laws, programming languages. So the 7 natural laws are the secrets of the cosmos. They are the secrets of the cosmos. The nature of reality, the nature of universal laws, the nature of consciousness, the concept of the interconnectedness of the universe, how things connect, how everything connects, how from one thing to another, they are all from the source and the law of one. That's the beauty of the 7 laws of the universe, 7 natural laws of the universe. And it begins with the first one, the principle or the law of mentalism. Principle of mentalism. The Kybalion said, all is mind. The universe is mental. All is mind. Mentality. All is mind. Now, you see the interconnectedness. Mind is masculine. Okay? So mental, you have men, and talisman. Mental. Mentalisman. Because all is mind. Everything is mind. All is mind. Everything in the universe is a creation of mind. Everything in the universe. Everything begins in the mind. Your mind is the house of creation. That's where things happen. As a man thinketh in his mind, so he is. You can see a person and define and describe the kind of mentality they have. Mindset. Mindset. All is mind. Everything is about your mind. Because thought creates events and emotions, and it happens in the infrastructure of the mind. This is why for you to start manifesting, you must be intentional about observing your mindsets. the state of your mind. How do you think? Are you aware of your own thoughts? Because all is mind. That's where the secret is. We are responsible for what we create. So be responsible for what you create by being responsible for what you think. You are responsible for what you think. The only people that cannot think are people who are dead. As long as you are alive, you will think crazy thoughts. You will think sexual thoughts. You know, it's just so funny that we live in a society where a person who is 30 years old is being told that they are not meant to have sexual urge. It's very crazy. Somebody who is 30 years old, 35, they are being told that if you have sexual urge, you have sinned. Do you see the confusion in society? Whereas by nature, the person is meant to have sexual thoughts by nature. Why do you think in the olden days, as soon as you are 16, 17, 18, they hand you over to your husband? They don't give you time to start thinking about it. You are going into the bedroom action straight before you start, you know, testing. Because the only people who don't think are people who are dead. And you are going to think a lot of thoughts will cross your mind because it is the law of nature. It flows like water. Life is always flowing. Thoughts are living things. So you're going to have different, various kinds of thoughts. Now, the thoughts you allow, be ready to be responsible for it. So it is not the thought that is wrong. It is the thought that you permit to germinate that is either right or wrong. Because thought is just energy. Energy isn't that good or bad. We've talked about one of the laws, the law of polarity. Be responsible for what you create by being responsible for what you think. Be responsible for what you think. Oh, there is nobody in this world who is not prone to envy. Sometimes envy will just cross your mind. How can this guy be all this and I know I can be more than him? Now, it can cross your mind. Are you entertaining that thought? Are you giving it wings and flesh? Someone said before they start breaking news. Are you giving it wings and flesh? Are you entertaining it? Because you are responsible for the thoughts that you entertain. Now, the science of psychology has told us that we think over 60,000 thoughts every day. Some say we think over 70,000. Some say we think 60,000. But we think thousands of thoughts every day. But there are some key elements in your thoughts. And you're going to agree with me on this. Thoughts are repetitive, right? I think we've talked about this. Thoughts are repetitive. There is no thought you think that is not repetitive. And thoughts are magnetic, right? They are repetitive and they are magnetic. This is why the moment you start thinking in a particular manner, you start seeing the results in your life, because the more you think about it, the more you reinforce that in your life, then you see the manifested reality. Because thoughts are repetitive and thoughts are magnetic. Quantum physics. Everything vibrates. So even your thoughts, you are not saying it, you are thinking it, then you are seeing the manifested reality. You're like, well, I didn't say it, I only thought it. Well, you thought it, but it vibrated a frequency, and then it magnetized similar frequency and brought it back to you in multiple proportions. Because thoughts are repetitive and thoughts are magnetic. A lot of the manifested realities in people's life is just their thoughts. They didn't even say it. They always thinking about negative things happening. I have only 30K left in my account. By next week, I will be broke. I just know that this money, and then you take 5K from the 30K, it's remaining 25K. Hey, you are not saying it. In your mind, you're like, child, it's now 25. You withdraw 10K, now 15,000. Hey, this money will soon finish. It will always finish, because the thought is going out and magnetizing other chicken change. Other people who are thinking like that, you have become family members, and you are now producing children from that, because thoughts are repetitive and they are magnetic. If we understand the power of these two elements when it comes to our thought process, we'll stop thinking negative. The moment any negative thought crosses my mind, I deal with it, I push it. I address it first. I identify where is this thought coming from. I analyze it, and then I know, no, I will not think about you, this thought. I can choose my thoughts. When you are able to choose the thoughts that you entertain, then you can create what you want in your life. You can choose what you want to create in your life. Because thoughts are repetitive and thoughts are magnetic. Thoughts are repetitive. Someone said, the moment I thought of not having issues with my husband, boom, we must quarrel that day. So you see this dimension. She said, the moment she thinks of, I don't want to have quarrel with my husband today, boom, they have disagreement. You know why that is? Even though she is thinking, I don't want to have. Now, I don't want to. She is thinking about what she doesn't want to do, when she should be thinking about what she wants to do. So now you see the dichotomy here. Because for some people, they are thinking from the place of what they don't have, not from the place of what they want to have. So, and thoughts are repetitive and magnetic. You think about it over and over again, and before you know it, you are seeing the manifested reality in your life. And they produce our behavioral patterns, because thoughts drive our behavior. Yeah? If you think right, you will act right. It's as simple as that. When you think right, you will behave right. It starts with thinking right. It starts with the right orientation. One of the problems we have in Nigeria, we want people to behave right who don't think right. We want people to act right who believe wrong. We want people with terrible orientation to act like responsible citizens. If you think right, you will behave right. Because let me tell you what happens when you start thinking right. You notice that somehow, naturally, you start behaving like your thoughts, because thoughts are repetitive and thoughts are magnetic. For your actions to change, your thoughts must first change, because your thoughts are the driving force of your material reality. Because the moment you change the way you think, you have changed your manifested. That's what has happened to you. The moment you change the way you think, you have successfully changed your manifested realities. When you stop thinking about what might go wrong, you have canceled the idea of anything going wrong. I hope I'm not going to be broke by the end of it. I hope I'm not going to be lonely for the rest of my life. I hope I'm not going to have accidents. Those thoughts don't even cross my mind. They don't cross my. I was telling someone, I've been driving for about 25. I started driving when I was like 14 years old. I have never scratched any car in my life. Never scratched any car. I have never. I am very careful but the thought of involving in an accident does not cross my mind. So explaining that dimension simply means that it is not about thinking about what you don't want. You are meant to focus your thoughts on the things that you want. You are meant to focus your thoughts on the things that you want. And the moment you do that, it influences, it begins to drive your behavior. So the effect that you begin to behave like what you want to see in your life, right? You begin to behave like what you want to see in your life. For your actions to change, your thoughts must first change, because they are the driving force. When you change the way you think, you will change your manifested reality. Now, one of the problems that we have is the conflict of it is called personal internal conflict of interest, where somebody wants something, but they are thinking otherwise. When you want something, but you think otherwise, you produce conflicting realities. This year, I must marry. But on your WhatsApp story, na mumu dey trust man. So you see the conflict. I am looking for a responsible woman to marry. But during your conversation with your friends, all these Abuja girls, 98% of them are Olosho. So what will happen to you is you either marry an Olosho or you don't marry at all. It's as simple as that. Because you cannot want something and think otherwise and think you will speak what you want. You will speak what you don't want. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. You would notice that most times people are, they want something great, but then they speak something contrary to what they want, because their thoughts is the ruling factor, is the driving force. So it's producing a conflicting reality in their own life. And they are wondering, where is this coming from? When you change your thoughts, then you have changed your manifested reality. One of the greatest things, greatest divine abilities that we have as the human species is the fact that we can think. Do you know how powerful that is? That you can just sit down in that state of starvation, lack of money, loneliness, and you can just start thinking about seeing yourself in a mansion. This is a blessing. This is John D. Rockefeller, broke ass boy living with his mother. Started thinking about how he's going to become a billionaire and rule the world. Started saying it, I am bound to be wealthy. I am bound to be wealthy. I am bound to be wealthy. And he became one of the families ruling the world today. They are the ones ruling us. The Federal Reserve, the banking industry. He said the educational curriculum. But this was a boy that came from nothing, but he was thinking right because he taught the power and the ability to, regardless of your situation, to think as though you are not your condition and situation. I love that infinity sign. Thank you. Use your thoughts to shape your reality. And this is not a cliche. This is one of those motivational talk about use your thoughts to create your reality. I am telling you now that it must become a practice that every time you engage in thinking, you are shaping your reality. You are reshaping your reality. That's the way it's meant to be. That you sit down and you are curating a stage play, mental stage play, how you went to the bank to withdraw 100 million to pay for a house. You are using your own thoughts to create. One of the greatest men that ever lived, Neville Goddard. You should go read a lot about this man. If you know Neville Goddard, kindly type in the comment section. Neville Goddard, one of the fathers of New Age teachings and some of these natural laws. Neville Goddard, he met a man called Abdullah, the Ethiopian teacher. And Ethiopian teacher was his, this man was his teacher. And then he was telling Abdullah, who was his teacher, that I want to go back home and see my family. He was in America. I was saying, I want to travel to Europe and see my family, but I don't have. And Abdullah looked at him and said, right now I am seeing you in Poland with your family, and shut the door at him and left. And the second time he told Abdullah, I really, really want to go and see my family, but I don't have money. And Abdullah will shut the door, bam, at him. Right now I am seeing you in Poland, and he left. And Abdullah kept answering him that, I've told you before, I said, the people who truly want your life to be transformed, sometimes they show you tough love, not this pampering. I don't like the way he spoke to me. Oh, he's not sensitive. Many times, the people who are going to be instrumental to your transformation, they show you tough love, not all this too much sensitivity. And Abdullah will shut the door at him, say, I am seeing you in Poland, and he will leave it and go. And guess what? By the Christmas of that year, Neville Goddard was on the ship traveling to Europe to go and see his family. Because what he did to Neville Goddard was he activated something in him. And Neville began to use the law of assumption, and he began to see himself. It is not a statement of motivational quotes. My mind is my this, and you stop there. No, you now engage in the act. And you engage it in your mind. You use your thoughts to shape your reality. This is what I'm trying to do for you in this 18 days manifestation marathon. And you are meant to begin it yesterday. You want financial breakthrough, relationship. Start using your thoughts to shape your reality. Start using it to shape. You need investment running into $500,000, $1 million. Start using your thoughts to shape your current reality. Doesn't have to look like what you want. You can use your thoughts to shape that reality. Because even the universe is a manifestation of God. The universe is a manifestation of God. So every reality in your life are the manifestations of God. They are the manifestations, right? Now, let's look at the application. I want you to write this down in your exercise journal. Write this down here. Now, consider your current and dominant thoughts. Now, write it down. What is the thing that you think about mostly? The application, because this is more or less going to be a practical class. What is that thing that you think about mostly? Your current dominant thoughts. My current dominant thoughts, what I'm thinking about now is the August Conscious Conference. That's my current dominant thoughts. And when this afternoon, I thought about it again and I said, who says that I have to bear all the financial, responsibility for that event? Who says that it is a law that I must bear it? Who says that? No, but it's not a law that it must be that way. So what is your current dominant thought? Write it down. If your current dominant thought is, I don't think I can see any better girl married for this one. Write it down. If your current dominant thought is no money anywhere, write it down. That journal. If your current dominant thought is I want to add some muscle, write it down. If that's what you are thinking. What are you thinking about right now? What are you thinking about right now? When I say that, analyze that thought, because someone can say my current dominant thought now is money. That's not your current dominant thought. That's not your current dominant. And everybody is thinking about money right now. How are you thinking about money right now? Are you thinking about money in terms of, is it? So how are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about it from the perspective of, I'm not sure say I go get this guy. How I go take survive with this kind of money? So be specific about your current dominant thoughts. Is it about your health? You have seen something on your body or you feel a certain way, and your current dominant, you be like, say this thing I cancer. Is that your current? Write it down, that journal, right? Because you need to monitor and be aware of your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Now, the application here is think about what you have written down. Again, think about it. Be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of your thoughts. Assess your thoughts, then you can change your life. Assess that thought. Look at that thought. Be like, say, I know if you survive this month because till June, because the money we did, I don't think, say, if that's your, ask yourself, why am I thinking like this? Why are they thinking like this? Ask the people around. Many times when I say some things, I now tell them, but why are they thinking like this? When was the last time you assess your thoughts and you ask yourself, well, why am I thinking like this? It is not right for me to be thinking like this. Assess your thoughts and you can change your life. Be the third person in your own story, in your thought process. Be the third person. Step out of yourself and be the witness in your own life, and you will gain clarity. Be the third person. Step out of it. Don't be too attached to that thought. Step out of it, what you have written down, and assess it, and you will know why you are thinking like that. Is it because I was raised poverty mentality? Why am I thinking about scarcity? Is it because I was raised to believe that I cannot eat meat in my food, or the only time we eat chicken is during Christmas? Is it that? Is it because of some experiences I had? Is it because I failed 2 times in my life? Is it because the man disappointed me? Why am I afraid of truly committing to a relationship? Is it because I was disappointed? I tell you the truth, for years, I was actually meant to marry at some point in my life. And that was like the only time in my life I wanted to marry without any fear. And enemies, my enemies, they rose up against me. And they went to the girl's parents. They destroyed my reputation out of envy. And this was a girl that, at that point, I felt like if I don't have this girl, I can't have anybody, because she understood me too much. She understood me to the point where she knew when I wanted to be left alone. Because what a lot of people don't know about me is that I was ADHD diagnosed. Not all these people that go around and saying I'm depressed, not medically diagnosed. I'm ADHD because you saw it on social media. I was diagnosed, right? But I transmute the energy. So she knew I was like that. So she knew when I wanted to be left alone. She understood me to that point. So I felt like this is the person. And when the whole relationship fell out and it didn't work, and she just left her family and went back. And for years, I was searching for her in every woman I met. The moment I meet a woman, I wanted to see Tayo in the woman. If I don't see Tayo in the woman, I just leave. This one is not like Tayo. But I forgot that every woman is unique in their own way, right? So the fear that this is not Tayo, the fear, a lot of people right now, the reason you are not married is because something happened to you. And what happens is there's a build up from that experience. And you have thought about it several times that if it's not this person, it can't be. This is, and then it has become your manifested reality. Until I became the third person, and I said, I don't even know where she is. Maybe she's married somewhere living her life. I'm now building everything about relationship around time. No, you're not God in my life. Because I was able to become the third person and to study and assess and analyze my situation. I stepped out of myself and I became the witness. I gained clarity and said, this is the reason why I easily snap at women when I meet them. This is the reason I don't have patience with women, because I'm expecting to see fire in them. Step out. In your financial life, maybe the government is not the reason why you don't have money. Maybe. It's the truth. Until you step out and you watch your own life as a third person, you wouldn't know that. We have to finish this tonight. The principle of correspondence. Next thing. First one. The second one is the principle of correspondence. The principle of correspondence. This is the law of nature. It's the law of the universe. And the Kybalion said, as above, so below. As within, so without. It's more or less like the mirror. What is above corresponds with what is below. Everything you are seeing outside you is what is going on inside you. It's as simple as that. People find it very hard to accept that the manifested realities of their adulthood is their own making. Because there are people who were raised in an environment that was brutal, but they became everything directly opposite what the environment wanted them to become. Because at some point they said, no, I can reshape and remake my life to exactly what I want it to be. As above, so below. As within, so without. Because the laws outside you governs the macrocosmic universe. Everything you see outside you, all these laws, they govern the macrocosmic universe. The laws inside you govern your own universe, your microcosmic universe. The operations within you. What are the laws that govern your own universe, your own microcosmic universe inside you? What are the thoughts? What are the mentalities? What are the structures and the designs that govern you? What are the modus operandi that you use to guide your life? One of the things, please, if you want to function in the realm of abundance, you need to know this. One of the things I ensure that I do is that in the house, I ensure that things are surplus, even when we don't need them. Things are surplus. Don't allow things to finish in your house. Allowing things to finish. There are people who you have 500,000 naira. Everything is almost finished in the house. But you are like, how come carry money? I spend 50K now. Let it finish first. You know that is the simple principle of correspondence. It means that you are entertaining scarcity as above, so below, and it will finish. And probably when it finishes, the 500K has finished too. You cannot separate above and below. You can't separate the two, but you can balance them. You can work on what is going on your inside. First, your jurisdiction is your microcosmic universe. That's your jurisdiction. That's your primary jurisdiction. What is going on inside you, not what is going on outside you. Because what is going on inside you would actually reflect what is going on outside you. What is going on outside you reflects what's going on inside you. It is not what comes into a person that corrupts them, but what goes outside of them, right? It is what goes outside of. And you can tap into the alternate dimensions of yourself. There is the part of you that is abundant. There is a part of you that is sound mind, sound health. There is a part of you that is peaceful. There is different dimensions of you, different operations going on inside you. You can tap. And the moment you allow that to be your source and the operational power in you begins to reflect the macrocosmic universe. In the macrocosmic universe, in what is happening outside you. I have emphasized this several times during this training that the universe is in you. You are an extension of the universe. You are an extension. You are a spark of the divine spark. The Egyptian Book of the Dead says the kingdom of heaven is within you, and if you know it, you know yourself. What is the kingdom of heaven? It is the kingdom of expansion. It is not necessarily a place in the sky. It is a place in your heart. It is a place in your heart. So the more you expand your mind, the more you broaden your horizon and you broaden your mind, you break the limits. Now, I don't have a problem of 2 million. Now, let me set myself up for 5 million naira so that I no longer have a problem of 5 million naira. You keep elevating yourself from one level of glory in your money life, in your relationship life, to another. Because the kingdom of heaven that is within you is a kingdom of expansion. The kingdom of expansion and infiniteness. The infiniteness of your kingdom. But nobody can do that if they are not paying attention to what is going on inside them. What is going on inside you? You are the extension of the multiversatile universe. You are the extension. You are the extension of God. You are a part of God. You are a part of God. So many of us are too focused on what is happening around us, that we're not focused on the environment inside us. The environment inside you, what is going on inside you. Because what you see around you is a reflection of what is going on inside you. It's the mirror principle. It's the mirror principle. The macrocosmic universe will reflect to you what is going on in the microcosmic universe. If what governs your heart is fear, you will definitely see things that don't even exist that you will be afraid of. There are people, they are taking their bath in the shower, and when soap is in their eyes and they feel like there's a snake, one day that snake will appear in real life. Because the universe is inside you, reflecting you to you. It is showing you your state of mind. How do you know what is going on inside you? Based on the law of correspondence. Watch what is happening around. Who are the friends that you have? They can't help you, you can't help them. You have 10 friends, you can't raise 100,000 naira for help in 24 hours. Something is not right inside. That's why. That's why there is the reflection on the outside, right? It's like the Fibonacci sequence. It's pattern, the patterns. It starts with 1 and 1. Then it continues 2, 3. Then 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. 5 plus 8, 13. 8 plus 13, 21. That's what happens. It's the patterns, the sequence. It keeps forming. It keeps forming to the point where it boomerangs. You now wonder, why am I facing this reality in my life? Why am I facing these realities in my life? Because you created them. Because you created them. In quantum physics, we've talked about vibrational frequencies several times, where it is what you vibrate, the frequency you vibrate that you attract to yourself. It is the frequency that you vibrate that you're going to attract to yourself. It is the frequency you vibrate that you will attract to yourself. Even your thoughts to the world. How do you connect to the world around you, to the people around you? How are you showing up for yourself? Do you love yourself? The way you think and the way you act is a proof. The way you think and the way you act are the proofs. Self-love, I have self-love. But your thoughts and your actions are the proofs that you have self-love. How are you interacting with life? I've had interactions with people where I noticed that this person is their own enemy, and they have accepted to remain their own enemy. They have refused to break negative patterns. They have refused to live in alignment with their own highest good. They have refused. It's almost like they are not interested in being harmonious with everything of good that is meant to be for them. And it is because they don't understand the law of correspondence. How are you thinking? How are you acting? I have seen people who they told them to come for an opportunity that will fetch them millions, and they went there late. They got there late to the place. People go to their wedding ceremony late, but they don't go to the house of a guy or a girl they want to bang late. They will get there before time. No, let's call a spade, please. They don't go to beer parlor late. They don't go to Arsenal match late. They go to places that will add value to them late. It's the law of correspondence. As above, so below. That is the operation inside them. When you are not interested in things that are of your highest good, It shows that you don't love yourself. It's as simple as that. When you love people at the expense of loving yourself in the name of I'm in love, then it shows that something is wrong. Where a person can give themselves up to abuse, being mistreated, disrespected, maltreated, is because something is wrong inside. It is not the person who is abusing, it is you. The law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. So the reason you are allowing somebody to abuse you and you are making excuses for why you cannot leave that person is because something has gone wrong. Something has gone wrong inside. The principle of vibration. Principle of vibration. I love this one so much because I am a master of vibes. I can just meet people and just know, we say that a lot. Vibe, energy. What is there? Everything is moving. Everything. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This cup right now is vibrating. Everything vibrates. This board is vibrating. Everything is in motion. Everything is alive. Everything has intelligence. Everything has This is why you see people speak to things, because everything that you see existing in this quantum field has intelligence. Everything is vibrating. Nothing is stationary. Nothing is static. Everything has motion. That's the principle of vibration. Everything, including your thoughts, we are living in a vibrational universe. Because first and foremost, everything is an energy vibrating frequency. That's it. Everything is an energy field, right? Your thought is an energy field. Your name is an energy field. Your picture is an energy. Quantum energy healing. Now they are using people's picture to heal them. You will place a person's picture under the machine, and the person is in another country, and the machine is healing them. Because everything is an energy field, vibrating a frequency. Everything is an energy field, vibrating unique frequencies. Your frequency is different from my frequency. When I'm with that guy, there's a vibe that it gives me. When I'm with that girl, there's a vibe that she gives me. Because matter is energy in a state of vibration. Everything is moving. Everything is recycling after its kind. Everything is recycling. This is why we must start seeing things from the spiritual perspective, because the universe is spiritual. The universe, even science is now admitting the limitations and is proving that life is deeply spiritual. There are scientists right now who believe that there is a higher intelligence and a higher force that is responsible for everything that we are seeing. I like this comment on Facebook. Everything has energy, atoms, electrons, which are in motion and they have frequencies. Everything. The whole universe is spiritual. We are spirits having a human experience. We are spirits in motion. We are spirits in motion. One of the ways that people fall sick is when they don't move their body as much as they are meant to move their, because everything is meant to vibrate, vibration. Now, the principle of vibration states that all things, both physical matter and spiritual energy, hold a certain vibration. Everything, both physical matter and spiritual energy, hold a certain vibration. They hold a certain vibration. They hold a certain vibration. Even your heart vibrates. Your heart gives off a certain vibration, depending on the state of your emotion. When you are vibing high, what do they call that? High frequency. You are vibing low. You can literally speak to somebody on the phone sometimes, and you are like, why are you sounding a certain way? You're sounding very low. You could feel the vibration of their voice. That's why you feel like, this is not the way this person sounds on a normal day. Because everything vibrates a frequency. Now, what is the application for this? It is different for everybody, because we all have different frequencies. In this room, we all have different frequencies. We're all vibrating different frequencies. When I am with you, it's different from how you feel when he is with you. You get what I'm saying? So we all vibrate. So the application is different for everybody. What do you need to do? Only do things and think thoughts that allow you to be in a state. Anything that will put you in a state of pandemonium, you are not meant to allow them in your space or in your life. Because your body is meant to vibrate at positive level, high vibration, so that even when you are confronted with low vibrational entities, you are able to quickly switch and rise above them. You overcome them. Because if you don't control your vibration will control you. And before you know it, you remain in a state of sadness for the whole day. They spoiled my day. So you can see someone, they go out in the morning, very happy, elated, they are dancing around, and then someone does something, and throughout the day in their office, you know, people who are like this are people can sneeze and you can catch cold. The moment somebody sneezes, if someone can control your mood, the person has some power control over you. I hope you know that. Anybody who can change your mood, that person, they have a level of control and power over you. That's what they do. Now, the principle of polarity. Let's look at that. Number 4, the principle of polarity. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Talked about a yin yang, right? Masculine, feminine, male and female. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites and identical, they are the same in nature. But now the difference is they are different in degree. Light and darkness, they are the same, but different in degree. Man and woman are the same, but different in degree. Extremes meet, right? And everything is the same. Everything is energy. They are the same, but they are different in degree. They are different in degree. By the time we understand this, this is the solution to extremism, where people are on one extreme side of something. This is the solution to it. Understanding that everything has a dual nature. Everything has its opposite. Same in nature, but different in degrees, because everything vibrates unique frequency. Same energy, different expression. You are a man, I'm a man, but we express our energy differently. One of the things I tell people in numerology is this. The fact that you have 10 people who have the same master number. I have seen master number 11 who cannot invite people. So one of the things that numerologists are teaching people that is wrong is the fact that just because you are a master number 11, you should be an orator. Is a lie. You can't teach a fish how to fly, and you can't teach a bird how to swim. That's the problem that we have, even with the school curriculum. There are people right now who are vibrating their master number 11, effective as an introvert. One of them there. Yes, he's a master number 11, but he's vibrating it effectively. So not all master number 11 should be sitting and be talking to people, be an orator. And, that's not the way it is. We are all the same, but expressions are different, right? Love and hate are two ways of expressing the same energy. It is a relationship towards something, right? I either love you or hate you. It is the same thing, different expression. The same thing, different expression. Why do you think there is a thin line between love and hate? People who took themselves to a wedding and spent 20 and they are beating themselves after 1 year. How did that happen? Because it is the same thing. They were only expressing love at the beginning. It didn't cause them anything to switch from there to beating themselves up. How is it easy to switch from love to that hate? Because love and hate are two ways of experiencing and expressing the same thing. Is a relationship. Hate is a relationship. Love is a relationship. And this is the foundation of what we call alchemy. The ability to transmute your experiences at will. You know, there are people in your life who, they always want to trigger you because they think you're key. She's, you know, some men, they talk about how anytime I am happy, my wife just feels that there is one side chick. So she wants to create problem for me. She spoils my joy. You see, she creates a problem because she feels that I am happy. She needs to do that. I'm like, and then you throw away your joy like that. What will I do? She's my wife. I live in the same house with her. There's nothing I can do. Well, I don't have a wife, but I don't think anybody will have that much power over my life. Nobody can have that kind of power where you can determine when I should be sorrowful, when I should be sad. That's too much power for somebody to have over you in the name of marriage. It is too much power for you to think that just because you are married to a man, he can mess you up. No. You must be able to transmute your experiences at will. Where they think that your life is working and you're happy, let's cause a problem for her. And they throw their negative energy at you. And because you know that negative energy, positive energy, they are energy. And you transmute it and use it to serve yourself. The people in the community know this. There is an affirmation where you don't send things back to sender. I don't do back to sender. Every evil force fighting me, back to sender. I don't do that. As an alchemist, every energy is usable and recyclable. Now, the person who threw the energy of hate at you, they have lost something. They have lost energy. I hope you know that. Energy has left them. Essence, substance has left them because it is energy, different expression. So they throw it at you. Don't give it back to them. If you give it back to them, then they become more powerful over you. You take that hate and you transmute it to love and use it to serve you. That's what it means to be an alchemist. That's what it means to be an alchemist. The law of polarity is the foundation of alchemy. The ability to transmute your experiences at will. The ability to transmute the negative things that people do to you. They meant it for evil, but I'm turning it for good. They thought it was over for me, but they don't know. Come on. Dream watchers. There are people in your life right now who are dream watchers. You know, dream watchers are worse because dream watchers are usually your friends and family. I hope you know that. Dream watchers are not strangers. Usually friends or family. They are always afraid of what you can become. And then when you allow their energy to affect you and put you down, you become everything they expect you to become, not everything they thought you could be. Because the reason why dream watchers are dream watchers is because they think that you can be something, but they are afraid of that thing you can become. And then they don't want to, they are neither here nor there. They don't want to support you. They just wait somewhere watching you. Let me just hang around. Let me see, just in case it becomes great. I can come and claim entitlement. Dream watchers, you transmute every energy, every stone they throw at you. That's what you do. That's how you apply this law. You know, truth evolves and truth is subjective. Truth evolves and truth is subjective. What I'm saying in this context is there are universal laws, right? And there are truths, something that is true to you and to me. There are things that are true to you and to me. There are cultural truths. There are religious truths. There are traditional truths. But there are universal truths. And universal truths are always present and they will always be. Accept them or reject them. They are always present. Universal truths have been present with us. They will forever be present here when we live. So the only thing we can do is live in alignment with this universal truth. Build the mental stamina to change the way you look at things. The mental stamina, it will help us to transmute hate to love. Build the mental stamina to completely change the way you look at things and people. So you understand that this person trying to hurt you, they are trying to hurt you because they are hurt. There are fathers who all they have done to their children is damage those children verbally. You know why those fathers did that? Because they are also hurt and damaged. So you don't allow that to crush you. Neither do you send the energy back to them. You take it and use it to serve. Because anytime a negative frequency energy is trying to bring you down, you can recognize it. You can feel it. And then what do you do with it? You transmute it to a positive one. Because universal truth, they are present. There are relationships right now where it has turned to the victim and the villain. There are people you are doing business with. They even want you to collapse so that they can take over all the profit of that business. And you can recognize it. You take that energy and then you transmute it, because in life you are meant to be two things. To lead an excellent life, you have to be two things. First and foremost, I've talked about that. You have to be an alchemist. You have to be. And then, which is the ability to transmute your experiences at will. You are able to transmute energy to serve you. And then you have to be a mathematician. So the people who always say, I don't like mathematics, no problem. You have to be a mathematician because life is an equation to be solved. And there are formulas for solving this equation. I have to finish this tonight. Yeah, I have to finish this tonight. I'm being asked to stop. I have to make sure I finish this so we can move to the next chapter tonight. You must be a mathematician. And this is the beauty of knowledge, where you can develop the right formula. When you develop the right formula for your life, you are going to have the right answer. The reason you are getting the wrong result is because you are using the wrong formula. When you discover and apply the right formula, you always get the right result. So you must be an alchemist and you must be a mathematician. I have told you my story when, a friend was spreading rumor about me. It was not a rumor, it was true. That he saw me and I looked like I was finished. And the truth of the matter, at that point, I looked like I was finished. So it wasn't like I looked like I was finished. But guess what I did? He mistakenly sent the voice notes to my WhatsApp. I wanted to send it to someone else. That's one of the biggest miracles that happened. One of the biggest miracles. Maybe I probably would have still been in the gutter. In the big house I took you guys to yesterday, I was in one of those rooms on the floor when he mistakenly sent the voice. And WhatsApp did not have delete button then. So there was no delete button. So as soon as I saw the message, I thought he wanted to give me the job I was asking him. If I mention this guy's name, you probably will all know him because he's one of these guys. There are many people who are with you, your friends. What you don't know is that when you were rich and you were helping them, they were actually envious of you. They are only waiting for when you are going to be down, vulnerable. Some people are afraid of what you might become. They know that your energy and vibe is different. So they would wish that you remain down. Wish that you remain down. And guess what I did with that voice note? I downloaded it. I converted it. The person that did this, if I mention his name, a lot of people, because he's quite popular. And I took my headphone and I put it and I listened to that voice notes all through the night. I see Femi today, or if you see him, you just know say the guy don't finish. When you see himself, he asked me for job, saying make I give him something for one of my hotels. When he was selling out his things, I was traveling abroad for masters. Who sent them? He would think, say, yeah, I don't feel give him that job. I don't want to make you come meet Cubana now, come take everything. Because when he come now, everybody, he go take over from everybody. And I listened to these words throughout the night. You must be this powerful. This is the definition of power, guys. When I told someone I did that, why would you do something like that? I was like, yeah, I did it. When I woke up the next day, I pulled up my sneakers and I wore my hood. I walked around my estate. You know, legislative quarters in Abuja. I walked around the whole of legislative quarters with no food in my belly. And I was saying to myself, I am Femi, I am not finished. I am Femi Jubal, I am not finished. I wanted his words. I wanted to seize that energy. The more I listened to those words, the more those words pierced through my marrow. It was piercing, like I was bleeding inside me. I wanted that feeling, like I want to feel this hurt and this pain. And the next day I woke up. I was walking around the whole of legislative quarters from zone A, B, saying, I am Femi Jubal. I am not. And I did that for 21 days. Every morning I wake up. And before then I was depressed. I couldn't go out again. I did it for 21 days. I am Femi Jubal. I am Femi Jubal. I am not finished. And I sent back his voice note to him and said, this is the voice note you sent to me. He said, no. Don't explain. Don't worry. And in those 21 days, I told myself, see. So you will see. And he is seeing now. He is seeing now. This is the power of transmuting energy. Don't throw it back to the sender. If I throw it back at him, you said this to me, Abi. You said this to me, I will now go into depression. How can my friend say something? This is how people are in this life. I used it. You transmute it. That's what you do with it. The principle of rhythm. Let's look at it. The principle of rhythm. There are many people listening to this right now. You have read something that someone said about you, and then it's not palatable. And you have allowed that to break you down into pieces to the point where you even hate the person. I don't hate this friend. I've been to one of his hotels several times, even after that. And he shakes my hand. I sat down there, we drank together, we gisted together like nothing happened because I transmuted the energy he sent to me. The principle of reading, everything flows out and in, entry and exit. Everything has its sides. Everything rise and fall, pendulum swing. Everything is, everything. Everything manifests, whether you call it good or bad. Everything manifests. Everything is manifesting according to the pendulum swing. The universe is compensating for everything in a redeeming manner. The universe is compensating for everything in a redeeming manner. When you understand this law of rhythms, you'll be able to understand and recognize your life better and the universe better. So that things that are even meant to work against you, you make them work for you. They want it to work against you, but then it begins to work for you because you understand the law of rhythm. Because everything is the long swing. Everything is out and in. You know, the people who understand the secret society properly, when you enter as a court member, when you enter anywhere and there is only entry, no exit, go back. This is one of the things, the rules that they teach. Are you in the court? Are you not doing already? If you have ever been in a fraternity, especially the Nigerian version, if you enter a place, it is the law of rhythm. If you enter a building and you cannot see exits, that is only one entry, just turn back and leave that place. And guess what they are doing? They have introduced that law of rhythm, that every place that has entry should have an exit. In any building, safety precaution, there's meant to be an entry and an exit. It is only in Nigeria that, you know, entry can even be from the roof, from the ground. The principle of cause and effect, this is very important. Cause and effect. I don't want to carry this chapter to tomorrow. I want to finish it tonight. So, except you guys want us to just close. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Right? That's what it is. Chance is just an excuse. Chance is an excuse. Everything has its cause. Everything has its effect. When people say it's by chance, they cannot explain what is operating in that situation. That's why they call it chance. Everything has a cause. Everything has an effect. I remember one of my friends who is a musician in the United Arab Emirates. He's a very young man, just 26 years old. Jindi is like one of the top 3 musicians. Now you can check him out on Instagram. Jindi. And I was telling him then when I was schooling in Dubai, and I said, I don't like how you're always singing other people's songs, because this Dubai city has taught you people that you cannot sing your original song. So they go everywhere singing covers. This person's cover. Say you can write your own song. You can be the first artist in Dubai that changes that story. And he said, no, it's not possible. I said, but you can cause it to happen. I remember sharing with him the principle of cause and effect. The last concert that Davido had in Dubai, he was the opening act. Last concert Davido. Because now he has releasing his album when again? Later in June, he's going to release his album. The principle of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Turn by turn is a delusion. This is it's going to get to my turn. It is a delusion. There are many planes of causation. You are causing things to happen even right now. The effects you see in your life, they are the product of the cause that you set in motion. Thank you for that comment. It is also the law of karma. What you sow is what you reap. You know that sometimes you can actually cause things to happen. I have sold properties before that. The owner called me and said, Femi, this property is taking too long in the market now. And I lied. Let me say lied, because I wanted to create the cause. And I said, somebody is coming to see it tomorrow, sir, at 11 a.m. So don't worry, we're going to sell it. And he said, really? Good, good, okay. Nobody told me they were going to see it. And I called a friend of mine and said, come, you are the buyer. Let's go to the property and see it. So that the security man, when he sees us, tell him you are the buyer. We went there. I was creating a cause. You have the power to create a cause. When you create the cause, you expect the effects, because nothing escapes the law of cause and effect. You are the one creating the effects in your life. You are causing the effects in your life. Nothing happens by chance, brothers and sisters. Nothing happens by chance. And this is also linked to your thoughts process, right? Because it begins with your thoughts. The effect of your thoughts would be seen in your manifested reality. If you don't know how to make your thoughts serve you, you're going to see the reflection in your manifested reality. The effects. The thought is the cause. The effects are the manifested reality. And like I said, the beautiful thing is that we all have free will. Do you know that this, we don't know how blessed we are as human beings. A dog on TikTok, there is one video, a dog. This young man is the one stealing his mother's food. He now sets the dog up every now and then. So when the mother comes, he tells the mother, it is the dog. The way this dog barks with pain, because the dog cannot tell the mother, it is this bastard that is doing. There are many of the videos, and this guy does this thing to this dog. Because the dog does not have a free will. It cannot communicate. And you will see the dog looking at the guy like, why are you doing this to me? We are human beings. We don't know how blessed we are to have the ability to communicate. We have free will. You can choose what you want. You can choose the. Why are you laughing like this? you can choose the woman you want. This is where your power is. This is where your power is. But we are not using the power. I was telling someone yesterday. I said, based on the stories you have told me, you have this natural grace to access wealth effortlessly and to be gifted by the powerful and the wealthy. Practice this thing. Call them on the phone. I want to see you. I am around. I want to see you. Many people don't practice what they have, and that's where the problem is. Because we have the free will to choose. If that dog had the free will to actually leave that house for that guy, the dog will leave. But the dog does not have the free will to leave the house. So as much as this young man is tormenting, and you see there are many people, they are living like that dog, like a tree, especially people who are in abusive, toxic relationship, or they are in a job that is not paying them. You are working like you are going to die. They are not paying you well. You have high blood pressure. You are still there like you are a tree, living like a dog, like they have no free will. We have been blessed with this divine infrastructure, but we have to start exercising them for us to gain the power. But our free will is within the boundaries of law, natural laws. We have to also understand that. Because there is no free will that can escape the consequences of disobeying the natural law. So you have the free will to obey, to choose to obey the law. When you choose not to obey the law, then you are going to face the consequences, because natural laws don't care about your sentiments. I am going to choose to be negative about everything. Well, you're going to be faced with negativity. If you have to choose between laws and doctrines, choose laws. In the movie The Matrix, remember that character, the Morpheus? Remember Morpheus in The Matrix? How many people have seen The Matrix here? Listen, the lesson from that is you produce effects. You are the producer of the effects. Because, listen, let's dissect this properly. What already is cannot be changed. I hope you know that. Your current manifested reality is the product of your previous thought pattern. So what is cannot be changed, right? You have only 9,000 naira in your account now. It cannot be changed now. You have only 9 million naira in your account now. It cannot be changed. You are alone now. It can't be changed. You are in debt now. It can't be changed. What is what is. It is the reality. It cannot be changed. But you can influence and create what will be. You can change what will be, and you can start that now. What is cannot be changed, or you can change what will be. So this is the application. Take your exercise and write this. And these applications I'm giving us are stuff that later on tonight or tomorrow, read them to yourself. Many of us, for the first time, become the analyst of your own life. Study your life like a book. Study your university like you are reading a course. Read this thing and ask yourself questions and write the answers down. No matter how unpleasant those answers are, write them down. Now, number one, always ask yourself the cause of the events in your life. Nothing just happens. No excuse. Don't ever give any excuse. Ask yourself, what is the cause of this event? Why? What created this? Why am I going back? I was dating someone my brother knows. My brother, one of the people that helped me to end the relationship. And it was just, the relationship was a mess. This is somebody who is, I don't like to talk about anybody it was a mess until I stepped back and said, I now have to ask myself, why am I going broke again? What is the cause of this, that 1 million naira is now becoming a problem? What is the cause? I figured that it is your relationship that is the cause. Always ask yourself, why do things go up and after 6 months they come down? Why? Because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Why is this happening? Ask yourself, what is the cause of the event in your life? And then number 2, application. Stop reacting to situations and events. Respond to them. Stop reacting to situations and events. Respond to them. When you figure out the cause, don't react, respond. Because when you create the events in your life, you stop becoming a victim. You stop being the victim. You stop being the victim. When you master how to create the events in your life, you stop being the victim. And then we go to number 7, the principle of gender. Principle of what? And this is the real yin yang right now. 6-9. This is the principle of the 6. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine side. Gender manifests in everything. Every man listening to me right now, you have feminine energy. Contrary to what Andrew Tate told you, every man, biologically, anthropologically, spiritually, historically, every man hearing me, you have feminine energy in you. Every woman right now, you have masculine energy in you. Because there is gender in everything. The difference is, as a man, you have 70% masculine, 30% feminine. As a woman, you have 70% feminine, 30% masculine. Because sometimes life will present a situation to you where you need to be a man as a woman. Or as a man, you need to be a woman. Everything, you possess both the feminine and the masculine energy. Who is this John on Facebook? I really like his comment. Everything possesses the feminine and the masculine. To manifest, you need both. You need both to manifest. When you look at the concept of the cerebral hemisphere, the masculine and the feminine, the right and the left, hemisphere of the brain, you notice that they are all performing. You possess those two. So it simply means that you have masculine and feminine energy, and they are all playing different. Now, the thing is, you should know when to leverage on any of them. Sometimes as a man, you need to act like a woman. I hope you know that. You need to release your feminine energy. Society is teaching you to suppress and repress your feminine energy as a man. Because for you to manifest, you must master how to balance these two. And that's where you have, when the Freemason talks about the generative principle. Now you look at the logo of the Freemason. You should Google that. It comes this way, and then it has this way, right? So it does. Open triangle, up and down. Do you know what this means? There's a lot of meanings. So let me draw it for you properly so you can know. You can know that these people, they have things hidden in everything. The logo of the Freemason, bottom line of that logo is called the generative principle. Now, this is it. I cannot draw the other things included, but let me just, because we are all adults here, right? So it's not like anybody's pretending. So think about it. What is it? What is this? This is the masculine, and this is the feminine. The generative principle. Then you have the G in between. The G there is the generative principle. When the masculine and the feminine energy is produced. If you don't know what this means by now, I cannot go say more than that. I want you to catch it. Do you guys know what this means? You don't know? Anybody in the audience, do you know what this is, what I drew? Anybody, do you know what is this? This thing I drew, what is it? You don't know. Okay, let me draw this again. Thank you. This is sexual intercourse. What are you saying you don't know this thing? I drew this for you now like this. Is it until I draw? I beg, we are not children here. This is it. And in the middle, you have the G. What is the G there? It is the generative principle. If you don't know it, forget about it. That's what I'm saying. So the Freemason, the whole idea of the Freemason, the Rosicrucian, most of these esoteric occultic organizations is the end point is materialism. Everything you claim to know must be seen, must be proved in the. It must generate a result. It must generate a result. And the only way to do this, to activate generative principle in your life, is to ask yourself this question. And I want you to write this in your exercise. What do you care about? Because anything you give your attention to becomes your manifested reality. Anything, John said is a Freemason. Are you 33? Anything you give your attention to, you care about, becomes your manifested reality. And I'm going to close with that tonight. We are on an 18 days manifestation marathon. One of the things that we must pay attention to is the things that we give attention to. What are the things that you give attention to? What are the things you give attention to? Guys, listen, first degree, oh, okay. What are the things you give your attention? Because everything is set up around you to suck your energy. I hope you know that. Everything is gunning for your soul and your energy so that you don't generate, so that the only intercourse you give yourself to is the one that gives you STDs, not the ones that produce. I'm not saying literally now. What I'm saying is the energy transaction some people are having is not producing any results. It's producing calamities and chaos because the things they are giving their care and their attention to. So ask yourself that question. What are you giving your attention to? What are the things you care about? The things you care about are the proofs. It's a reflection of how much you love yourself and how much you want to manifest your desires. Sport is good. Entertainment is good. All these things are good, but they shouldn't be at the center of your world. You should be in control of those things. All things are lawful, but not all things are of spiritual. So write down, what do I care about? And answer yourself and start monitoring the trajectory of your life, giving and paying attention to the things that you care about. We're going to stop there tonight. We have finished the second chapter, so we can move to the third chapter tomorrow. Let's have questions and answers. Exactly. Someone said Nigerian news is my energy vampire. And you are very right. I just love how people are sincere in this class. So the Nigerian news is their energy vampire. And that's the truth. For a lot of people, it is Nigerian news. For a lot of people, it is reality shows. It is reality shows. So what Madam Grace said, dollar updates is our own. Rookie, go ahead, please. Now, let me also remind us again, like I said, the exercises are just, the last question is the same as our dominant thoughts. Exactly, your dominant thoughts, yes. The exercises are just as important as the teachings. So it is important at this point, we have 4 exercises already. The soul and voice recognition exercise, the vision board, the 369, and then the morning affirmation. My mic is mute. Oh, your mic is mute. Okay, Rookie Green.
Hiya, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, when you were talking earlier about your thoughts, it also goes for me. And most times we have sabotaging thoughts to our own self. Like when we want to do something, we are thinking in the opposite direction. And because that thought become a repetitive behavior, it is very difficult to undo. So when it's not that sometimes we can't go ahead, it's because we must then learn we must unlearn the sabotaging thoughts that we have in our mind towards ourselves and towards the goals that we need to get to.
That's awesome. Self-sabotage. And that's very common
Yeah,
with
self-sabotage. Yeah.
self-sabotage. Very common with a lot of people. Thank you so much for that, Rookie.
Okay,
Rookie,
cheers.
please hold on. You are going to do the positive affirmation tonight. So hold on. Let's have some
Okay.
questions. After that, you'll do the positive affirmation. So any other question? Let's have that before we close tonight. We're meant to do 1 hour, 30 minutes, but we did 2 hours, and people have to go to work tomorrow. How long does a thought need to stay in your mind for it to be able to influence your life? 17 seconds. Can a 2 vibrate as an 11? Yes, sometimes 11 needs to vibrate as a 2. Now, thank you for asking that question. This is a perfect example for the gender dynamics. 11 is a number that is not calm at all. It's a number that is, but 2 is the harmony hunter. So many times an 11 needs to, vibrate on 2 to be calm. Matter of fact, I had to learn how to be calm when I'm teaching because I used to be very fast. I'm just saying, I'm fast. So I'm learning how to be a bit calm and, so people can hear very well, pay attention to it. So 11 can vibrate a 2, but when it is needed, when it is needed. All right, so any other contribution, question? Okay, I think we should just close tonight because our time is fast spent. Rookie, I've sent you a request. Kindly go ahead, please. Help us with tonight's positive affirmation for the house.
First and foremost, hello to everyone. We are eternally grateful and thankful for this union, for this time, in this moment, that we are here to uplift, to elevate, and to progress forward in our life, in the learning skills. We must give thanks to Mr. Jubal for this service that he is providing. It is very, very good for all of us. We give thanks for the union from the Creator, from the ancestors, from all the realms and sources that are here for our higher purpose. We will strive and grow with goodness in our heart towards our elevation of greatness in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rookie. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great, great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.